Big Bronze Ram here. Today we're going to do a real quick transformation video of the Dark of the Moon Voyager Megatron. This guy is kind of a little bit of a complex one to transform, so we'll go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove his little cover here. We're going to go ahead and grab his little weapon here. Go ahead and pop this off and we'll set that aside. Start by separating the back of his legs here, what will ultimately become his legs. We're going to straighten out this here, and we are going to rotate this way. We're going to bring this up and around. We're going to peg this peg here into this slot here. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Separate this here. Fold this double hinge up to the side. Bring this forward. Rotate this down. Tab this in here. And there's the beginnings of his legs. So next we're going to untab these sections here. We're going to grab each leg and pry it out away from the body. Like that. Now we're going to turn this around. We're going to see this little section here. We're going to fold this up here. Then we're going to take each of the legs and rotate them around, making the front of the legs. Straighten this out here, bring this down to the side. Next, we're going to separate the grill section carefully. We're going to fold each section up. We're going to flip this forward and rotate the canopy up. And that will unlock these sections here. We're going to go ahead and pull, kind of loosen the arms up here. They'll pull down. Now we can begin to separate what will become the shoulders. These will pry outward, releasing. We're going to rotate those around and carefully on that ball joint there, turn that around, rotate that this way. And we're going to go ahead, turn him around. We're going to take his chest piece here. We want to take this and pull each of these in kind of an upward direction, almost like a smile. We're going to collapse that set of double hinges down into his chest after we lift up his head, compressing that in. There's his head. Now we're going to take his backpack, fold that up. I want to rotate the body around, bringing that to the front. These kind of create his little shoulder pieces here, and you can see there's a tab here and a slot here. It's going to tab in like that. We're just going to bring the arms forward, fold out his hands, and we'll get him cleaned up here. Should stand nicely. We're going to take his little hood here. We're going to rotate this around. If you see, there's a slot right here. We're going to take this. This fits over his shoulder, over his head. And you're going to plug that right in here. And there we have Voyager Megatron fully transformed. So we can take his mech tech gun here, we can push this in. We're going to rotate this. That will lock it in the hour position. This actually is like this. We're going to fold this down, the figure, and we can put his cannon right there on his arm. Just like that. Now, to go ahead and get this guy transformed back into vehicle mode, remove that, press that down. transform this back. It's pretty easy, kind of does it on its own. Go ahead and kind of reverse as before. We're going to take this off, rotate this back, set this aside, fold in the hands, rotate these so that we make the complete fender on the side. Gonna kind of unhook that here. We're carefully gonna rotate these around. This is a very small hinge, so be careful. Going to take his chest piece, collapse that back down. This is going to accordion up out of the way. The backpack should be open at this point. We're going to take his head and just kind of rock it backward like this. And as these open out, the head should collapse back into the body. We're going to go ahead and position this, set this up so that that's the bumper of the vehicle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these so that they make the hood of the car. We're going to try and slot this so that this piece fits right in there like that. Bring all that together. This is kind of tricky here. We're going to rotate these, bringing these in, and kind of folding these down so that these sit flush with the bumper of the truck. Now, can't quite get this all tabbed in yet until we get his legs completed. So we're going to rotate this around. And we are going to fold the legs back up into the body like this. Before we do that, we need to fold this crotch piece out, laying it flat. Now we can fold these in like that, rotating these outward like that. Now the hands should all fit in this tab here, tab in there, tab in there. All this kind of collapses and tabs together. That closes up, and we can rotate his smokestacks down this way. Finally, we're going to rotate these around, untabbing this. We're going to rotate this up on a double hinge. Unhook, rotate up, keeping all this kind of oriented here. This section here is going to rotate towards the back of the vehicle. We can start tabbing things together. This comes underneath the vehicle, tabs together here. Before we do that, we need to make sure that these tabs here line up in that slot there. It's a little tricky to get all this lined up, but it's doable. There we go. It's all lined up. Now we're going to take these sections here, fold them in towards the side of the truck, finishing that out. And then finally, we're going to take his tanker section, plug it in here, get his cover,